Good evening to all of you. You might have seen in the press in Delhi, the police conducted search in the office premises of a Muslim advocate who is also a member of the Muslim Personal Law Board and who has supported the CAA accused in some cases. The police, after taking a search warrant from the judge, they have conducted raid on his office from 12 p.m. of 24/12/2020 to midnight 3 a.m. of December 25th. His name is Advocate Pracha. So, it has created anxiety and anguish among the legal fraternity. The Supreme Court Bar Association has written a strong letter, including the BCI, to the Home Minister, Shri Amit Shah, to take action against the police for conducting raid and depriving the advocates' right to practice in the court of law, and also regarding the professional communications. Right? What happened is the police on 22/12/2020 itself, they have obtained a search warrant to search the office of Mr. Pracha, as there are two allegations against him that he was in possession of forged documents, and also he asked a witness, Irshad Ali, to depose falsely in the court. So basing on this, they have registered a case in crime number 212/20 under sections 182, 193, 420, 468, 471, 472, 473, and ultimately conspiracy 120B of the APC is nothing but cheating and forgery for the purpose of cheating, all these things. Right. So the special cell of Delhi police, they registered a case, and basing on the FIR, they asked for the search warrant, and the magistrate has issued the search warrant. So basing on the search warrant, they came and searched his office and confiscated or seized so many computers and metadata of out-of-box email, and so many things they have done, and it created the so-called anxiety among the people, and the advocates claim it to be a malicious act, and which defeats the right of the advocates to practice and also to keep up the communications, advocate-client relations. So it is a brazen attack on the so-called brazen attack on the advocates, and brazen exercise of power by the police also. So it violates Article 21 and also Article 20, Clause 3 of the Constitution of India, and they wanted the Home Department as well as the Supreme Court to take action against the erring police people. Of course, the District Court in Delhi, they have asked the investigating officer to be present, and when he attended the court, they asked him to give the entire seized video in a cover under the seal of the court. They wanted to seize it the same, but they wanted to peruse as to what happened. Of course, the procedure will take a little bit time, but here the important point is, why should they conduct a raid on the lawyer's advocate's office? Suppose, okay, they have taken the computer. If it is a law firm having 500 or 200 advocates, can they seize all the so-called computers and hard disks? Is it possible for them? Is it right? So can't they give a notice under section 91 CRPC asking Mr. Pracha to produce the affidavit filed by that lawyer is also dead, who was instigated or who said that he will commit forgery like that. Forgery items is there in his affidavit, I believe. Second is, so this man has asked Irshad Ali to depose falsely. No doubt, according to the case, definitely they could advise him So there are so many advocates who ask the clients or who ask the witnesses to turn hostile. Are you going to do anything with them? Except going as per law. If they turn hostile, you can take action for perjury. That's 211 IPC. That how can you go like this? If this is nothing but brazen act or a malicious act on the part of the police department. Anyway, here we have to feel sorry about the judge's attitude also. Without going to the contents or without going for so mechanically they have given a warrant for such warrant, which is not at all necessary. Now let us discuss the professional communications or the advocate-client relationship. Section 126 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 it clearly says about the professional communication. No barrister, attorney, pleader or vakil shall at any time be permitted, unless of course with the client's express consent, to disclose any communication made to him in the course and for the purpose of his employment as such barrister, pleader, source. He should not disclose. Yes, definitely. Suppose some client comes to the advocate and says that yes, I have committed forgery. You please help me. It is what is an explanation one illustration. A client says to be an attorney, I have committed forgery and wish you to defend me. Yes, he has to defend him. So other circumstances are there. If he comes and says, just like in that Kunchalamuku Telugu film, so I wanted to kill this man, what do you take? I wanted to remove his leg, how much fees you take? I wanted to just beat him, how much you take? If his intention is to kill a person, if he discloses them, definitely the advocate is bound to inform the police, but not here. So that the relations between client and advocate or this professional communication, they should not be disclosed to anybody. But even then, there is a method. Yes, they can give, suppose if it is a document, if it is a civil case, normally you can give interrogatories according to order 11 of the CPC, you can get ordered. Definitely, the advocate has to give a reply. He is not a criminal. He will not go away any side. If at all you want to, yes, you can send a commission. So, searching the place, what does it mean? Very bad. So that's why please remember we are going once again to Hans Litton's, yes, Hans Litton's movement. You may be knowing, he was a very famous lawyer, Hans Litton, during the year 1930s. So Hitler, you may be knowing, Hitler, he doesn't like advocates. He doesn't know, he doesn't want the name of Mr. Hans Litton, who was a famous advocate who opposed the Nazis at the time. Hitler doesn't want to hear his name. So because this advocate, Mr. Hans Litton, he has cross-examined Mr. Adolf Hitler for 2 days in 1931. So he could not bear the harassment. He could not bear the harassment of the advocate during the cross-examination. Ultimately, what was the result? During 1935, this Hans Litton advocate, he was arrested and sent to the concentration camp. In 1935, he was there for 3 years. But on February, I think 5 to 1938, he committed suicide, unable to bear the continuous harassment, continuous torture of the so-called Hitler government and interrogation, and also his failed attempt to escape from the camp once. So once again, such moment is Hans Litton moment. It's called Hans Litton moment. That moment is coming to the advocates once again. So such definitely as advocates, all of us should rebuke or should not, definitely we have to say, we have to express our anguish and definitely anger to the incident, and actually action should be taken on the Delhi police. Added to this, another incident took place in Uttar Pradesh, in Utah, UTAH. An advocate was beaten and taken away from his house in the presence of his rally while he was in uniform, advocate's uniform. It is another incident. So these things should be taken very seriously. Supreme Court has to come to the rescue. They have to take it as suo motu litigation and they have to take action. Otherwise, such atrocities or overaction or brazen exercise, misuse of the exercise of power by police will continue. So please remember, all of us in one tone should condemn the attack on the advocates. Thank you.